Hi everybody, I'm Anne St. John and I'm a psychic medium here in St. Augustine, Florida. We're going back over to the St. Augustine Fort Matanzas today, and we're going to read a letter that was written by automatic handwriting by a Spanish soldier. This is Automatic Handwriting, Part Dos. Hi, I'm Anne St. John and I'm a medium here in St. Augustine, Florida. And this is my dog Willoughby. And this is my dog Willoughby. Come on over here. Join us on all our adventures with the sheepdog and the medium. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. This is Anne, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about automatic writing before we head out. So first of all, automatic writing. What exactly is it? It's not something that you just write because you feel like it. It's not something that just comes to you in a memory or just happens to hit you in your innermost feelings. It is actually not yours. It is not your writing. It is not your thoughts, and it's not your ideas. What automatic writing is allowing somebody in spirit to channel through you to write down what their thoughts, their ideas are. But the way to do this is we have to get our egos out of the way. We move our conscious minds out of the way so that somebody in spirit could come in and do the actual writing for us. It may actually be our hand that writes it, but it's not our own words. The way to get your conscious mind out of the way is to first get your ego out of the way. Now, moving your conscious mind or your ego out of the way so that you can actually put down somebody else's thoughts without them physically being there to tell you is not exactly easy. You have to be able to get that whole idea that you're the one who's speaking out of your conscious mind. So here's an exercise if you want to try it. This is how I was taught as I was watching a program on television at one time, and then I tried it, and then suddenly it just snapped, it clicked, and it made sense. First of all, you want to take the pen, and if you're a right-handed writer, you want to place it in your left hand. You take a sheet of paper, and you want to write backwards. Focus on somebody or someone in your life that has passed on, or maybe just ask a guide to come in and do the writing. They would be the ones that are moving you through your life, helping you out, and giving you advice as you move forward through your journey. Now, I know that it's not going to be easy, but you're going to put the pen in the opposite hand of what you normally write in, and then you're going to write backwards. Whatever you feel the pen should do, allow it to go, allow it to move. Don't think about what you're writing, just think about where the pen is supposed to go and allow spirit to take control of where that pen goes. Once you feel the need to stop, the ideas are put down on paper. Even as bad as your handwriting may look, take the page, go to a mirror and flip it to the mirror, and then look and see if you can make sense out of it. That would be the message that is given to you. Now, it may not look like much, and if you're just starting, it may not be much, but at least it's a good try. When I did this, I first wrote down, "I love you," and also some other really sweet words that came from somebody in spirit at the time. Once I started writing with my right hand, it just took me the understanding that yes, it's possible. On a soul level, I understood it, not just consciously, but on a higher self level, I understood that I was able to do this. And I continued to write, and I continued to journal. If you're at that point, you might just become like me, because once that automatic writing kicks in, then everything else started to kick in for me as well. I want to also express my thanks to those in spirit, because they're the ones that are helping me get through every part of my readings. what we do as mediums is that we rely on people in spirit to do the writing, the thinking, the expressions of love. All that comes through on a subconscious level and then goes through into your consciousness. Now, if you're not channeling, then you're listening, or you're seeing, which is clairvoyance, you're listening, which is clairaudience, and there's other clairs that could help you get these messages through. Mostly people are either clairvoyant or clairaudient. I personally am more clairaudient, where I can hear spirit speaking to me and expressing their messages to their loved ones. With clairaudience, you hear, and what I hear is I hear the thoughts. In your mind, repeat the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, what you hear in your mind is what I hear from spirit, the same sound volume. And then from there, I know it's not my thoughts, I know it's not my feelings, because I couldn't possibly know half of the stuff that I find out in a reading. I don't know how people died or who's coming in beforehand. A lot of times I have no idea who's supposed to show up, and we just talk about whoever comes into the reading. So with automatic writing, it's just like that. Spirit might actually, it's almost like they could take control of your hand to write out what they need to say. You give them permission to do this. You don't just get possessed by something, you give them permission to use your body in a certain way so they can communicate. Now that, I believe, is not just in a conscious level, but it's also a soul level. Remember, there's a mind, body, spirit connection that we all have. Your mind is connected to your body. It moves your body. Your spirit is connected to your mind. Your spirit moves your mind to move your body. So it has a flow to it. Now, if somebody else's spirit gets in the way of your spirit to mind connection, they can move your body like your pen, or perhaps even move your arms as you're speaking, so that they have their way of expressing hints or clues in the reading of why they've passed away. Like a lot of times when I first started, I would have certain little spirit symbols that would come up, and instead of just writing them out, spirit would say, if I'm in one of my readings and they tell me that they suffered from something that had to do, and they'll say trachea, they often put I feel guided to put my hands up to my throat, or they'll make sweeping gestures, or sometimes they'll say they smoked a lot, like how many packs a day did they smoke, because I keep getting this feeling and I keep feeling my hands move a certain way. I'm guided to do that, so it gets my conscious mind to back up what I'm hearing. It's almost like my own internal validation with spirit. Maybe you're guided in your life to see certain symbols, like certain types of flowers that remind you of your mother, or perhaps you keep seeing the same numbers appear on license plates, on the clock, on a street sign, and you keep seeing the same thing. That's another way that spirit is guiding you to see certain things, so that you get the understanding that they are with you, or they're trying to communicate with you. I think when we talk about automatic writing, it's a very specific way for them to guide you to write out their thoughts, their feelings, and their letters. That's what I started with, and that's how I started journaling. Now we're heading out to the fort today. Like I said, we're going to read the letter that we got from the Spanish soldier. Now, if you haven't visited St. Augustine, Florida, please come down and see it. It's a beautiful historical place, and a lot of people have a great time going through the shops, the dining, the historic St. George Street, and there's a great national park that we're going to be visiting next at Fort Matanzas, or the Castillo De San Marcos. So here we go. And here is the letter from the Spanish soldier, written through automatic writing from his point of view. Dear Anne, you are happy to be back at this fort. I am a little overwhelmed. It was my honor to be a Spanish soldier in the 1630s on this location. I am pleased to see our uniforms as they have been reenacted over time. The fort is a resting place for me. I died on the battlefield. My wife and family mourned my loss, and I was sick with worry for my fellow compadres. I see the halo of light around you. I see the work you have finished. Love and honor is what I love. It is my personal treat to tell you that the Spanish and Dutch were friendly, but privateers were throughout these waters. Many fought out of honor, and most out of the duty of loyalty to Spain. I see the light, the intense brightness that leads to God. We travel on as one group of many. And some knights have witnessed the return of arms at this location. Times are different now. People are in awe of our work. Lower your eyes for the fallen men of the fort. We love in spirit in heaven, but many soldiers' bodies are here in these grounds and waters. I wish I could give you my memories. You see, so many are willing to understand, but with life so modern, your times are far from our experiences. The homemade bread, children in waistcoats, love and a view of eternity, and our families that await us in spirit. Those small references kept us going in the fort when I lived inside. Many travel here to St. Augustine. Few have seen the hardship as we did. Thank you for my time with you, Senor Mendez. Willoughby, I think it's time we head on over to Dos. Let's go. One of our favorite places to take a break in St. Augustine is Dos Coffee and Wine. They're located at 300 San Marcos Avenue here in St. Augustine. Willoughby and I come here for the great food, the atmosphere, and especially the conversation. Today we're stopping in to get an iced mocha and especially a water for Willoughby.
Coffee. Is that yours? That's good.
There's so much to learn from automatic writing, so much that we can discover. If you have questions about doing it for yourself, just fill in the comments below. I'll try to help you as best I can. From St. Augustine, Florida, this is Anne St. John and Willoughby, the sheepdog and the medium. Thank you for joining Willoughby and me for Automatic Writing Part Dos. Bye for now. Come on over here. Come on over here. That was fun.